Alright, this is a piston video that I'm going to be showing how I did the piston install and how I gapped the rings. I'm not going to show you each an individual grind that I did on the rings. It's just the formula that they gave me with the Wiseco pistons and the rings was the top gap, and I've scribbled out these because I've changed it so many times. At first I did 3.8, which that's my bore size, and I times it by 0.050, which is 50 thou, and that equaled to 19 thou on the top ring. Well, the second ring gap was times it by 55 thou, and that was 20.0209, so 21 thou, and I'm sure that would have been fine. I did a lot of reading and investigating on ring gaps and stuff, and some people were going as high as 27 on the top and 30, or 26 and 30. And so I used the other formula that they gave. They give you this little piece of paper, and it shows in there all the stuff I've got wrote down. And this is a quick Google search will bring up all this as well. But you get this, and that's how you get your measurements. You bore times the thou. So I did the turbo one, and that's the first one I did. And then I was like, well, shit, that's kind of low, kind of tight. And then so I did the blown race only, which is this one, and it was, I think, 25 thou and 27. So I kind of just divided both of those in half, kind of met in the middle at 22 for the top and 24 for the second ring. That being said, another reason was the secondary ring on these was pre-gapped already to about 23. So I called Wiseco as well, and they told me that I can leave them all at 23 or go 24, whatever it may be, and those other ones, the top rings, could stay at 19 and everything should be fine. But after a bunch of research on the forums, LS1 Tech and all this stuff, I saw 22 and 24. A guy that seemed like he knew what he was talking about was on there, and that's for a lower boost setting, and he did all his on E85. Right now this one is just going to be a pump gas setup. I may go ahead and I know I'm going to do all the lines in the E85 material, the PTFE, all my fuel lines is going to do that, because I made the mistake on the Mustang. It was 93 octane only, and of course things change. So I feel like that this ring gap will be perfect for what I need. And this is how I checked mine. There's tons of videos on this, but I took the old 4.8 piston, it's the flat top, and this was one of the extra rings that I got on a replacement, because the piston came with new rings. So I got to practice a couple times as well. But I put that on there, and then this is just so I could get it even every time. And the ring's not in there, of course, but I press that down where it's an even fit all the way around. And then you pull it out, and your ring sits in there. That's how I check the ring gap to make it level. I know there's videos where people pressing them in with just the piston guiding it in, but that way I knew it was going to be the perfect distance all the way around. Alright, so I've got one piston that is installed, and the arrow's facing towards the front of the engine, and the chamfer side is facing towards the crank journal. And then so this one, the forward facing on this side, and then you can you see the chamfer there, maybe you can kind of see it, and that's the small chamfer. So the small chamfer goes against that piston, and the big chamfer goes against the crank. No, I haven't put the bearings in yet. They are labeled uppers and lowers. I can't remember if I mentioned that in the previous video or previous part of this video, but uppers go on this part and lowers go on the cap. So we're going to clean the goop out and put the rings in and drop this piston in and continue on that for all of them. It'll take a while on the first couple to get them orientated and all that, but hopefully it comes with a little bit of speed, but we're not in a big rush. We're just trying to get it the best we can. All of the pistons are now installed. And with those being installed, of course, I wanted to check it, and that's pretty awesome. They all look like they're going up and down with ease. There might be a little bit much oil in the cylinder walls, but that's okay. It's going to drain all back down because I'll probably take a few days and get everything in my shop organized again. It's not too organized, but get everything to where it needs to be and move the motor back over there, and that way I can mow and keep the dust down. And of course I'll cover this up, and then I might get back after it this coming weekend and put on the crank, timing gear set and all that stuff, and try to get the sprockets on and the hubs and all that stuff. Get it ready for the timing covers and the freeze plugs and all that good stuff. But so far progress is being made, and all of them are pointing in the right direction. Yep, there it is, towards the front. So everything's going together decently. So that's it on this video. There's not really much, like I said, of a how-to. It's just putting these in, making sure I'm torquing them down right, and getting the bearing set. I didn't show any of that stuff. There's tons of videos out there. This is just, you know, an overview of, that's the way most of my videos are, unless I'm doing something that hasn't really been done or discussed a lot of. But other than that, pretty excited, and thanks for watching.